Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Rebels Radio, as we're here today at Arbour Park for yet another run of the Emirates FA Cup, and it's Slough Town versus Sholing here this afternoon. Welcome to Rebels Radio. Your host for today, my name is Aid. Please get in contact as well. We'll run through the two sides for you as well. A couple of things for you as well. Today's match is being sponsored by the Slough Town Supporters Trust. So we thank them again for their continued support of today's games and continued support of the club. So thank you very much for that. And we're having a slight issue with our headphones. Let me just try and see if I can put that in there and see if that's... Oh, that's a bit better. I like that now. That's better. I can hear myself now. Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to Rebels Radio. We're here today for this Emirates FA Cup tie. It's Slough Town of Tier 2 National League South versus our visitors from the Southampton area, Sholing, who are from the Wessex Premier League. So today's game is a second qualifying round match of the FA Cup, and Slough will be looking to repeat last year's great run in the Cup, and Sholing will be looking to, as has happened to Slough a couple of times, put an upset on for these visitors. They've had a good start to the season so far. Only one loss, that was in a cup game. This is actually their fourth FA Cup game of the season, so they have played quite a few. In the league, they're top of their table. They played 4-1-4, scoring 17 against 2. They've actually scored 34 goals in 11 games. A lot of those are Hampshire Cup and FA Cup games. So it'll be an interesting afternoon here at Arbour Park. It's absolutely... without being rude, it's pouring down. There is another word that you'd use, but we're not going to use that one. So it's going to be a real wet day today, and it looks like it's affected the crowd numbers here today. We'll see how many are here, but I would guess there'll be about 500 at most here this afternoon. The sun not being out on... it's one of the few days we haven't had any sunshine out. So there you go. Also the bar's shut here as well, which happens to... for the FA Cup game, so that could affect the attendances today. So a couple of things for you. The next game for the Rebels will be next Saturday, where they are at home here at Arbour Park to Hungerford Town. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. That is Saturday the 29th of September. Also, if you would like to get in contact with us here at Rebels Radio, you can do so two ways. You can do so on Twitter, and it's at MyFC Rebels Radio, all one word, all in lowercase, and your tweets will come through to us. We'll give you a shout out, and we'll also give you a shout if you're listening via the YouTube. I think it comes through on your screen as a comment. It comes through to mine as a chat room. Good afternoon to Claire Queen, who's already listening in, and it's a good day to be at home in the warmth a little bit here. A bit chilly here at Arbour Park, and a little bit wet, but there you go. And Rebels Radio is brought to you by our two sponsors. They are MyFC, the online football community. You can find more about them on their Pachero website. Type in Pachero and MyFC. And also the Slough Town Supporters Trust, who again help sponsor with the costs of Rebels Radio. Unfortunately, my services are free, but there are costs, and they have, between the both of them, just bought a new microphone, which will be tested next week, ready for the game against Hungerford. Just a reminder that the draw for the next round of this competition will be on Monday, should Slough be in it, and should it end up in a draw this afternoon, the replay will be away to Sholing on Tuesday evening with a 7:45 kickoff. So keep your eye out on that. Then after the 29th will be the next round of the FA Cup, if Slough are in it. Then after that, the next game is going to be the FA Trophy, where Slough come in at the FA Trophy level. So there you go. I'll just run very quickly through some of the teams. I'll run through the teams for you first, actually, because then I can go on to the other games with FA Cup games featuring teams in our league. So Sholing playing blue and white shirts with blue shorts and blue socks. In goal for them is Ryan Gosney. 2 is TJ Cuthbertson. 3, Marvin McLean. 4, coming back from a free match ban, is Peter Castle. 5 is Dan Miller. 6, Jamie Bullpit. 7, Alex Sawyer. 8 is the captain, Byron Mason. 9 is Dan Mason. 10, Lee Watt. And 11 is Jake Hall. Substitutes for Sholing today are 12, Kevin Webster. 17 is the goalkeeper, Nick O'Donnell. 14 is Owen Roundell. 16 is Jake Smith. 18 is Ryan Mackney. 19 is Bradley Target. And another 17, which I presume is going to be a 15, is Billy Connor. For the Rebels, couple of changes for the Rebels. In goal is Jack Turner, 2 Sean Fraser, 3 George Wells, 4 Guy Hollis, 5 is the captain Sam Togwell, 6 is Lee Togwell, 7 James Dobson, 8 Scott Davies, 9 Ben Harris, who'll be hoping to last longer than 10 minutes after last Saturday when he was substituted after Nisbet sending off. 10 is Matt Stevens and 11 is Louis Saws. Substitutes for the Rebels are 12 Josh Chapman, goalkeeper is Matty Pearson, 14 is Nathan Smart, 15 Warren Harris, 16 Chris Flood, and 18 is Manny Williams. Your referee today is Michael Begley, and his assistants are Luke Peacock and Kieran Dolphin. So those are the sides for you. I'll run through the starting 11s just before kick-off for you. Good afternoon to Neil Humphrey, who's hot on the beach in Crete. Am I the only one in a wet place? It seems that way. So the other games featuring teams in the National League South. FC Uckfield away home to Dartford. Banbury United versus Bath City. Billericay Town versus Burnham. Not often we root for Burnham, but we are today. Bowersey and Pitsea versus Hemel Hempstead. Brantford Athletic versus Eastbourne Borough. Chelmsford City at home to Worthing. Chippenham Town versus Swindon Supermarine. Concord Rangers at home to Margate. Dulwich Hamlet at home to Tunbridge Wells. East Thurrock versus Whitehawk. Hampton and Richmond versus Burgess Hill. Hunter Patel versus Wantage. Livingstone Down versus Torquay United. Oxford City versus Cray Valley Paper Mills. It's St Albans versus Whiteleaf. Willstone versus Great Wakering Rovers. Welling United versus Cheshire United. Western Supermare versus Salisbury. Woking versus Tudor Intermission. And Gloucester City play tomorrow afternoon. So there you go. Those are your games featuring the other teams in the National League South. And we have we've got some Sholing fans here today, this afternoon. We're making a little bit of noise. The Slough fans have already gone undercover to escape the wet that's already here this afternoon. So for the just before kick-off, so the starting 11s for Sholing are Ryan Gosley in goal, TJ Cuthbertson is 2, Marvin McLean is 3, 4 is Peter Castle, 5 Dan Miller, 6 is Jamie Bullpitt, 7 is Alex Sawyer, 8 Byron Mason, who's the captain, 9 is Dan Mason, 10 is Lee Wart, and 11 is Jake Hoole. For the Rebels, it's Jack Turner in goal, 2 Sean Fraser, 3 George Wells, 4 is Guy Hollis, 5 is Sam Togwell, 6 is Lee Togwell, 7 James Dobson, 8 Scott Davies, 9 Ben Harris, 10 Matt Stevens, and 11 is Louis Saws. So there you go. Those are your starting 11s for today's game. We'll bring you all the action as it happens from our referee today, Mr. Begley, who's just about to call over the 2 captains, as well as his officiating team who are already there. And we're here at Wets Arbour Park, looking ready for a good afternoon today. We're hoping that today, that he's laughing because he knows what's coming. Our magical IT man, the Sir Gary Thomas, as we call him here, is operating the scoreboard today. So we're hoping that he's working his magic on this today. If not, you're going to see a lot of people throwing stuff at me or him. But we'll keep you updated. It looks as though Sholing's kit is like the old Tesco bags with the stripes going down. It looks like Slough will have the kick-off. They'll be shooting from right to left this first half. And aiming towards where the fans are behind the goal. We're waiting for this. Is it going to start? You haven't even got the badges up on the screen yet. I'm going to wind you up in a minute. So we're waiting for the referee today. He looks like a younger version of me, bald with a beard and much fitter than me. Not to say that he's ugly or anything like I am, but there you go. We are just waiting for him to get this game kicked off and underway. I think he's waiting for the TV cameras. That's what it is. He'll get there in a minute. He'll get there. Don't worry. He's obviously waiting. It's not 3 o'clock yet. That's why. He's a little bit early. There you go. It's kick-off here today. And Slough immediately with the ball in towards Ben Harris. Trying to find Stevens. Cleared there. Comes through to Sean Fraser. Touched by him. Is kept in by Saws. And it's here towards Guy Hollis. His ball in to Scott Davis. Cross to Sam Togwell. And played back to the goalkeeper. Jack Turner, all clad in red this afternoon. Chipping the ball out here towards George Wells. Wells with a cushion header finds Sam Togwell. Togwell across the 18-yard box here towards Guy Hollis. Guy Hollis can bring the ball forwards here for the Rebels. Finds Sean Fraser on the right-hand side. Gets the ball back immediately. Inside to Scott Davis. His ball back into Guy Hollis. Now keeping the ball these early seconds here. Back here towards the goalkeeper. And ball played out here by Jack Turner towards George Wells. But a touch off Wirt means it's a throw to the Rebels. And I can tell you that with 49 seconds gone, the scoreboard's working. Dobson flicks the ball on, trying to find Stevens. Hooked clear by Byron Mason. Comes through to Dan Mason. His ball in here, trying to find Hall. Hall skips past the challenge. Turns on the inside. Has the ball here. Flicking it out on the far hand side. Guy Hollis with the header away to Scott Davis, who flicks it on and finds Louis Soars. Soars with the ball up towards Ben Harris. Ben Harris loses the ball. Tackled there by Miller. And Miller tries to get them on the attack. Slough win the ball with a hefty challenge from Hollis. And it's played out here towards James Dobson. Running down the left-hand side. Bringing the ball 30 yards. Chipping the ball in first time. Looking for Stevens. It's a tackle in there by Bullpit. And it'll go through to the goalkeeper, Gosney. And Dobson getting some praise from his management team there. And the ball's here with Ryan Gosney, the goalkeeper, who's clad in a purple kit with black gloves. Long ball down the field for him, looking for Dan Mason up against Hollis. Oh, Davis just hits it straight at the Sholing player, and it comes back out here into the centre towards Sawyer. Sawyer's ball played in by Byron Mason. It's too heavy and it goes out of play for a throw to the Rebels. We'll try and keep you up to date with scores from the other games in the FA Cup as well, but our main concentration will be here this afternoon. And we wait for Jack Turner to come and take this goal kick for Slough. And taken short here towards Sam Togwell. And Bade across the back forward to Guy Hollis. Hollis looking for a bit of movement. Comes through to Scott Davis. Scott Davis being marked well here by Byron Mason at the moment. Wherever Davis is going, Byron Mason's there. Ball's here with Jack Turner. And this time he goes a little bit longer down the field, looking for Matty Stevens. Stevens beaten to the head, ball's off here. It's headed away then by Cuthbertson. Saws tries to get there, looking for a foul. Doesn't happen. And the ball played through by Byron Mason off the chest of Hall. Fraser gets a touch to it. Ball comes back out towards Hall. He comes down the left-hand side for Sholing, being followed by Lee Togwell and Sean Fraser. Holds the ball up here, and it's left here for Byron Mason. Mason, ball inside. Wow, superbly read by Togwell. Sam Togwell here with Scott Davis. His ball is poor, but it slips through to Ben Harris. He gets to the edge of the 18-yard box. Bursts into the box. Turns down. He gets a little touch there, and he goes down in the box, but the referee says no foul, and his penalty claim is waved away. And it's a goal kick here to the home side. As of yet, the scoreboard's still working, but he hasn't had to press anything yet. We haven't had a foul. This is where it blows up and electrocutes me, him, and the cameraman. You ready for that, Dom? You ready? Yeah? Okay. So we're all ready. Don't forget, you will be able to see highlights of this game from our good friends at FC Video. Ball playing around here. It's here with Sholing. Here with their number 4, Castle. Plays it back towards the goalkeeper, Gosney. And Gosney slips as he plays the ball. It's one back here by Lee Togwell. Togwell being urged to go forwards. Plays it in towards Stevens. Stevens in a bit of space. Finds Dobson on the left-hand side. Dobson skips past the challenge. Gets down to the byline. Crosses first time to the back post. And it's bouncing around. It's cleared off the line there. Comes through to Scott Davis. His little cushion header. Finds George Wells. Wells inside towards Dobson. Little flick in trying to find the ball, but it's won back by Cuthbertson here. And he plays it into the centre here, and it's here with Hall. Hall has space to run with the ball. Playing it out here, and then Hollis comes across, and Hall takes off the challenge, but Dan Mason is offside, and the ball left there, and it goes through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal, who smashes that ball forwards, looking for the run of Stevens. Miller has to come across to control the ball and play it forwards. Sam Togwell first to the ball, heads it out, and Dobson tries to keep the ball in and does really well to keep it in just inside his own half, and tries to play it here immediately, looking for Ben Harris. Ben Harris gets a little flick on, but not in the direction of Matt Stevens, and it's out of play for a goal kick to Sholing. So quite an even start here. Slough with that cross from James Dobson, just evading the far post. It's cleared off the line, and it's a goal kick here for the. Just starting to slow down a little bit of rain here. A bit of constant rain since about 10 o'clock this morning. And Gosling takes it short here towards Cuthbertson, and Cuthbertson, the right back, has the ball. Plenty of time on the ball here as he looks to play the ball down. Well read by Sam Togwell. His header finds George Wells, and back here towards Sam Togwell. And You may remember the name Lee Wart, who plays for Sholing. He actually played for Poole Town a few seasons ago. Turner with the ball forwards, looking for Dobson. It's missed by Ord. It's gone out of play for a throw to the visitors, around about level with their own 18-yard box in their own half. And it'll be the right back, Cuthbertson. I think our cameraman's cold. I don't think I've ever seen anyone... How many layers you got on there? About 5? 5 layers, gloves. And Cuthbertson takes it quickly towards the goalkeeper. Stevens chases it down, but it's cleared quickly here. First touch of the game for the left back, McLean. And plays the ball here towards Hall. Hall controls the ball, tries to play it down. Well read by Sean Fraser, who blocks the ball out and play for another throw to the visitors on the far hand side. And we'll today, do we call it what's that thing over there? Scoreboard update day. 6 minutes and 13 seconds gone. It's still working. If we get to 10 minutes, there'll be a party. And 2 balls on the pitch at the moment, which is why we're just waiting for the referee, just a slight stoppage in the game here. Good afternoon to Cliff Evans, who's listening. Thank you, Cliff, for joining us here. 0-0 at the moment. And the ball flicked on by Lee Togwell for Matty Stevens to chase. It's Castle who comes across with a header. McLean keeps it on. And Davis wins the ball and finds Saws. Saws ball down in here, finding Stevens on the edge of the box. Plays it out here towards Ben Harris. Ben Harris, step over. Plays the ball across. It's blocked in the centre towards Saws, and his first shot is over the bar. And this is the moment. Is the scoreboard going to work? Oh. The tension here at Arbour Park is, I don't know what it's like on the pitch, but Slough got a corner from some reason. A corner. I know you knew it, this, Gary, but we'll get there. James Dobson to take this corner for Slough. It's an in-swinger for the Rebels. Played to the back post. It's well claimed by the goalkeeper. That's a good grab. And he slows it down here. Just rolls the ball out here towards Cuthbertson. You can bring the ball forwards. In front of him is Sawyer. Sawyer gets the ball on the halfway line. Back towards the right back, Cuthbertson. And played in here towards Castle. Castle's ball is headed away by Slough. Comes through to Byron Mason, who gets the ball in towards Hall. Hall just makes a poor mistake, but gets the ball back and then finds McLean on the left-hand side. First time he's come into the half with the ball. Skips past the challenge of James Dobson. Plays it out here now towards Cuthbertson, the right back. And has the ball in. Plays it inside here. And finds McLean. McLean tackled by Scott Davis, and the ball win back by Lee Togwell. In towards Matty Stevens. Stevens puts the burners on up here against Miller. That's a good challenge, though, by Dan Miller. Plays the ball out for a throw to the Rebels on the far hand side. And it'll be a throw to Slough. Looks like Dobson and Saws have just swapped sides for the moment. So Dobson now playing on the right, Saws on the left. And Dobson to take this throw for Slough. They're going to leave it for Sean Fraser to come across and take. It's level with the 18-yard box of the Sholing half. In towards Lee Togwell. Back here towards Fraser. And back towards Togwell. Togwell's ball in finds Saws on the edge of the box. He turns inside, tries to go past McLean, gets his cross in. Oh, it's booked around, comes through to Harris, and Ben Harris gets the goal on 9 minutes. A lucky ricochet for the Slough striker. Slough has shot, it's cleared, it hits a Sholing player, and Ben Harris scores. And guess what? The scoreboard works. Double celebration at Arbour Park. And the goal from Ben Harris from the lucky ricochet just puts the ball in from about 7 or 8 yards past the dive of Gosney, who was wrong-footed. And Slough have the early lead that they were looking for this afternoon to try and settle their nerves here at Arbour Park. And they've got it with their second real attack of the afternoon. And it's Sholing with the kick-off here. Played outside, and it's here again to the right back, Cuthbertson. Here towards Castle. Castle's ball across the 18-yard box to centre-back pairing Miller, and finds McLean, the left-back. McLean plays the ball forward, looking for the run of Dan Mason. Mason scored 14 goals so far this season, but he can't keep that in. It's a throw to the Rebels, taken quickly by Slough, and Hollis takes it here towards Turner. Turner plays the ball out towards Sam Togwell. He's got turquoise and lime yellow kind of green boots on today. Spreads it across there to his centre-back partner, Hollis. Hollis has got a bit of time on the ball and finds Davis. Davis under pressure, loses the ball, gives it away. But Davis will come across and get there first for Slough, and then plays it down the line. But gives the ball away to Hall. Hall can't control it. But it was actually good work by Bullpit chasing down there. But Slough just a little bit lapse there in that play, but they still have. And like I say, if you do want to get in contact with us this afternoon, do so on Twitter, as Dan Brench has done, or via the comments page, as Claire and Neil have done. So there you go. We'll give you a shout out. You'll almost be on holiday anyway, so just tell me where you sung it up or whatever, and we'll give you a shout out. Ball's here with Slough, with Lee Togwell, 10 yards inside the half. Plays here, looking for the run of George Wells. He hits Wells on the back, but he keeps hold of the ball on the edge of the box. Plays it in here. It's hooked clear though by Castle, and he'll go out of play for a throw to Slough, which Sam Togwell takes quickly towards James Dobson. And then it rolls off Dobson last, and it's out of play for a throw to our visitors, Sholing. And a quick throw by him towards Ball Pit, finds Wart. Wart challenged by George Wells, and Wells does well to try and get there, but says Wart. Lovely little ball played into Byron Mason, just overruns it, and Soares can't get there first. It's out there towards McLean on the far hand side. 15 yards inside his own half, and brings the ball forwards, and looks for the run and finds just a foul there, the first foul of the afternoon by just trying to play this. Right, we don't care about that, but there you go. But there's a foul there by Sholing, and it's a free kick to the Rebels, taken by Jack Turner, looking for Dobson. Cuthbertson gets there first. His header finds Wart. Wart chased down by Dobson, but it's here with Cuthbertson again. Plays the ball forwards to Dan Mason. His touch is good, but Hall comes across and takes a touch off him. It's actually Ball Pit, sorry. Here with Wart, trying to play the ball in towards him, but he's offside. And it's a free kick to the Rebels. And we'll just update things as doing everything here this afternoon. Our scoreboard man has gone. Ball's here with Soares, in towards Sean Fraser. 15 yards inside his own half, finds Scott Davis. Davis, simple ball out towards Hollis. And Hollis finds his centre-back pair of Sam Togwell. Sam Togwell just comes back, gives it back inside here towards Hollis, and Hollis can play the ball forwards to Dobson, playing a bit central here. Again, swap sides with Soares. Ball played into Fraser, has to stretch to get the ball and loses it here to Byron Mason, but Slough win it back here with Guy Hollis. He plays it in towards Matt Stevens. Stevens a little bit deep here, tries to spread the ball out here towards Soares. That's a lovely ball. Soares takes it down well up against Cuthbertson, but he turns and still has the ball. Helped out here by George Wells. Wells trying to play the ball past Ward and skip past the challenge, and does well. Gets down to the byline and tries to get his cross. He gets a little block. Ward's on the floor. Chipped in by Wells, but too close to the goalkeeper. I can't take that foul off. It's got to go the other way. Sorry. Should be a foul on that side. And they've got an offside as well. So they've got a foul and an offside against them. So you should have another one. No, because I want the offside. Okay. Ball played in here towards Togwell. Looking here for Ben Harris. Stretches and finds Soares. That's a lovely ball out. Soares on this left-hand side. Crosses first time. Ball comes to the edge of the box towards Ben Harris. Takes a touch. A little bit too high. Being forced away from goal. Leaves it here towards Scott Davis. Davis plays the ball in. Looking for Dobson, but it's got too much on it. Cuthbertson trying to get there, and it's out for a goal kick. Good defending by the right back there, but Slough giving a couple of good balls in. And nice to see Nathan Smart here warming up. He's been out on dual reg with Hartney Whitney here today. So is he not cup tied? And we've played 14 minutes. Scoreboard works and Slough leads. What could be better on a Saturday afternoon? Ball's here with Cuthbertson. Up here towards Wart. Wart comes deep to pick the ball. A little ball inside here, and it finds Ball Pit. Ball Pit's ball in towards Byron Mason. He sends it in towards Hall. Hall trying to find McLean on the overlap. That's a good ball if McLean can get there. He does get there first. It's a great cross, and Togwell has to head the ball away, and from underneath his own crossbar. It's out for a throw, but Slough got to be careful there. McLean made a great run down that left-hand side. Great ball in as well, but it's a throw here to the edge of the box where it finds Ball Pit, and it's back out here towards Wart. Wart trying to get a cross in, faced by Lee Togwell. His cross is out of play, and it's out of play for a goal kick. And Slough defend that very well. So 15 minutes gone here at the moment at Arbour Park. Slough with the 1-goal lead this afternoon, courtesy of Ben Harris with his 10th goal for the Rebels this afternoon. We'll see if we can find some scores from other games, while we just watch as some of the Slough subs brave the weather to warm up here. Just stops raining a little bit here. Long ball here by Turn. It's going to be a free clearance for Miller. Hits his own player Byron Mason, but Ball played out here towards Cuthbertson. And he plays the ball forwards, looking for Dan Mason. Well won by Guy Hollis. His header finds Louis Soares. Ball played in from Soares towards Davis. Davis finds the right back Sean Fraser. Fraser goes back towards his goalkeeper. Played out quickly by Turner, but a little bit short of James Dobson there, who couldn't get to the ball. It's had to play for a throw to the away side. And it's TJ Cuthbertson with this throw. Referee, he's only going to like a couple of yards, but he's been told to go back. And Cuthbertson just going to take it from the same place because he just walks those extra yards. Comes off over the head of everyone. George Wells with the header on, put on by Dan Mason. And it finds here with Bullpit, here towards Sawyer. Sawyer trying to come down this right-hand side. George Wells comes across to block him, and it's Wells with the ball. Just does well to turn and defend there and plays it off. Bullpit in the end for a throw to Slough. That's good defending there by George Wells. And it'll be a throw here to the Rebels. And just Slough taking their time. Very quiet atmosphere here today. The Slough fans are very quiet behind that goal. Someone, if you're listening, Mr. Brench, can you get some of these Slough fans to make some noise? Ball played into thing. There's a foul there on Ben Harris for a free kick to the Rebels. They're halfway inside their own half. And Soares immediately spreads out to back on the right-hand side here, but I think they'll leave it for Jack Turner to take. And just a reminder that Slough, if you haven't seen all the media attention, Matty Pearson is here as a reserve goalkeeper for the Rebels. But Turner takes his free kick for Slough. And a ball played in, looking for Stevens, headed away by Miller, comes through to Byron Mason. He's got time on the ball. Scott Davis tries to challenge him, and Mason comes away with the ball, but his ball isn't the best, and it's a battle between Soares and McLean on the far hand side. Won by McLean, but being forced back towards his own goal. And it's Miller with the clearance. Bounces over the header, comes through to Dan Mason, trying to play the little ball in. Lee Togwell gets a touch to it, and then Sam Togwell clears it back towards the goalkeeper Turner. And chased down there well by Sawyer, but his clearance is out towards Soares, but it comes off the head of McLean. It's a throw to the Rebels on that far hand side. So I think the weather here has affected the atmosphere here at Arbour Park. It's a very quiet afternoon here. You'd think they'd want to sing just to keep warm. Ball played in by McLean, goes straight out of play for a throw to the Rebels. And good afternoon to Stephen Russell Haim, Terry Keneally, sorry, Keneally, sorry, Terry. Tequila Shark and Gerald Taylor all listening in here at the moment. Just waiting for this throw to come in from the Rebels on the far hand side. And the throw comes in here towards Sam Togwell. Played out here towards the left back George Wells. Wells being chased here by Hall, who seems to have swapped over sides as well for Sholing. It's ball played back towards Jack Turner, spread out to the right back Sean Fraser. Fraser has plenty of time on the ball. And then chips it across here towards Sam Togwell. Togwell now does have room and space to bring it out. Finds James Dobson, but skips past the challenge. Just had his shirt pulled there, but still has the ball. And the referee says play on. Dobson spreads it out now towards Soares on the right-hand side. Touch a little bit heavy, but he's got the ball at his feet. Plays it down the line for Dobson. He's continued his run down the right-hand side. And the challenge comes in. It's a good challenge by Byron Mason. It's a throw to the Rebels right by the corner flag. And they're going to leave that for Guy Hollis to take the throw. And Sam Togwell will come and join. And it's Guy Hollis for a throw, literally a couple of yards away from the corner flag. And it's Guy Hollis arching his back, putting this long throw in. It's bouncing around, bounces past everybody. And it comes out here through to Sawyer. So Hall is the player with the ball. Plays it back towards Cuthbertson. Under pressure from Sam Togwell. Back out here towards Hall. Hall down the line. Good ball played in. Great challenge by Lee Togwell. And Togwell plays it off the number 6 ball pit. And it's a throw to Slough, which Sam Togwell tries to take quickly and finds Ben Harris running down the left-hand side. Harris, oh, what a great cross that is. Didn't get a touch on it. Comes through to McLean on the edge of his 18-yard box. Under pressure from Matt Stevens. Plays it back towards the goalkeeper, Gosney. His ball out is not the best. It's along the ground and out for a throw to the Rebels. And it's Slough with the throw quickly in towards Sean Fraser. Dobson's just still on the left-hand side, swapped with Sword now on the right-hand side. It's Dobson on the ball here at the moment. And plays it here towards Sam Togwell. Sam Togwell back across here towards Lee Togwell, his brother. And out here towards Ben Harris. Ben Harris gets clattered there by Castle, who's only just come back from a free match ban, and run through the back of you. Put the foul on there. I know you're not used to the scoreboard working, but and it's a free kick to Slough, 35 yards away from goal. James Dobson standing over this free kick. It's a few yards away from the byline on the far right hand side. Both Hollis and Sam Togwell have gone forwards for this for the Rebels. It's Dobson, white booted Dobson, played in, it's bouncing around in the box. Comes to Lee Togwell, who shoots, it's wide of the goal. And Lee Togwell puts his hands on his head, thinking he should have done better with that one, should have got it on target. But unfortunately just wide of the goal, and out for a goal kick. Still 1-0 here at Arbour Park as we play 21 minutes here at the moment. And inside short to Cuthbertson, who's being chased down by Ben Harris. Harris gets a touch and Cuthbertson has to go back towards his goalkeeper. Gosley's clearance isn't the best, but it finds Dan Mason. Mason holds the ball up well for his brother Byron. Played on the far hand side, looking for the runner McLean, but it's spotted by Sean Fraser, and Fraser comes across and plays it back towards the goalkeeper Turner, and Turner has time on the ball. Eastbourne are drawing 0-0 in their game. Just a bit of climbing there, the referee doesn't see it. Ball played in, Davis wins it back here and finds James Dawson. Ball played in by George Wells. It comes off the Sholing player last. It's a throw to the Rebels. And the atmosphere is very quiet here at Arbour Park. I do have a bit of a sore throat, so beware with me. Throw in by George Wells and comes through to Stevens. But Slough looking for a foul, not given. And Sam Togwell has to head away. And out of play for a throw to Sholing. Just inside their own half. And Cuthbertson will take this. He's got to go back there. He's got to go back there, ref. Come on, get back. Come on. Cuthbertson with the throw. Looking for Dan Mason. Comes off the head of George Wells. Flicked on by Hollis. In towards Sawers. Finding Matt Stevens. His ball. Oh, great challenge there by Miller. Just gets a touch to the ball. And Sawers was about to burst through there. It's here with McLean down the far hand side. The left back for Sholing. Brings the ball forwards 15 yards. Held up by a couple of Slough players. Forced backwards here by Lee Togwell. It's actually gone back almost 15 yards. A great work by Lee Togwell. And he's under real pressure. Oh, so that is superb play by Lee Togwell. Chased him back 25 yards. And Gosley's clearance isn't the best. It's won by Scott Davis. His header finds Ben Harris. And Harris goes down easily again. And no free kick given. And Sholing play on while Slough appeal for a free kick. Ball played over here looking for Wart. Oh, Wart's touch is poor. And he would have been clear on goal. George Wells is just shielding the ball here for Slough. And that's again superb defending by the Rebels. And it's a goal kick to Slough. And Ben Harris twice been fouled there, but the referee not giving any of those. He's waiting for proper hard challenges to come in. It's going to be turned to take the goal kick to get this game back underway here. And Turner's ball finds George Wells, who control and then skips past Wart. Wart gets the last, comes off George Wells last actually. And it's a throw here for Sholing with Cuthbertson, the right back here, taking it. Looking for Mason, comes off the head of Togwell, and Guy Hollis gets his body in front and plays it back towards Turner. Under pressure from Sawyer, and his ball is long and out of play for a throw to Sholing, but Slough under a bit of pressure here of their own making. But still with a 1-goal lead here at the moment. And some of the Slough fans just pointing that Cuthbertson's got to go back a little bit for this throw, and he does. And Cuthbertson with this throw down this right hand side. Again looking for Dan Mason. Ball's over his head. Comes off the thigh of Sam Togwell for a throw. And it's Cuthbertson to take it. Halfway inside the Slough half. Played in by Sawyer. Finds Wart. Wart holding the ball up on the edge of the box. Plays it in there. But one back by Scott Davis for Slough. And Davis looking up, trying to find the ball in. Finds the ball in towards Sawyer. Sawyer touches heavy, but finds two-footed challenge by Castle. Wins the ball back, but they've given the ball away with Sholing towards Fraser. His ball isn't one, but he's gone back to Scott Davis, who plays it out here towards Dobson. Dobson gives the ball away now, but first to the ball is Guy Hollis, and it's a bit sloppy here. Ball breaks here kindly for Lee Togwell. Togwell outside to Ben Harris. Ben Harris down the edge of the box. Gets to the corner. Overruns it. Slips past. And he wins a penalty. Does Ben Harris for a foul by Castle on 26 minutes. And Ben Harris had his legs taken from him. It's up to James Dobson now, who scored 2 penalties in his last 2 games. Can he make it 3 in a row? The Sholing manager's not too happy with that. But it's James Dobson to take this penalty for Slough. Up against Ryan Gosley here. And it's Dobson to take this penalty for Slough. Oh, he puts it right in the bottom corner. And Slough have a 2-goal lead. Courtesy of James Dobson on 26 minutes. Firing the penalty low into the bottom of the corner. And the assistant manager of Sholing just being spoken to by the linesman. So we've just got some updates going on the thing here. Slough 2, Sholing 0. And just a little info for you that Dave Daper, or Dipe, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, my apologies, I've got that wrong. The Sholing manager has been in charge for 19 years. In those 19 years he's won 10 trophies. And just a couple of weeks ago he was in charge of his 1000th game for the Boatmen, as their nickname. They start the game hard. Guy Hollis again wins the ball and finds Louis Swords. Swords has a bit of time now on the ball. Couple of players around him, but Swords still running with the ball. In here for Matty Stevens. Stevens up against McLean on the far hand side. McLean gets his body in the way. Stevens chases it. McLean keeps it in by the segment of the corner flag there. Slough win it through Sean Fraser, but it comes off Fraser last. It'll be a throw to Sholing on the far hand side. We've got some updated functions on our thing there. No? Did we have a picture of the scorer on there or not? Not yet. Okay. All right. Early days. Early days. We've got it working at the moment. That's the main thing. Ball's here to George Wells, halfway inside the Sholing half, central position. Scott Davis to his left. Davis being closed down by Wart, and finds Sam Togwell on the edge. Plays it across here to Guy Hollis, who's having a very good game. Hollis for Slough. Plays it in towards Ben Harris. Won the penalty. Back here towards Hollis. Finding Sam Togwell. Just plays it out here towards Scott Davis, who's filling in as left back. Chips the ball forwards for the run of Matty Stevens. Stevens being followed by Miller. Miller tries to let the ball go and Stevens chases it down. It's gone back towards the goalkeeper Gosley. Oh, he's playing C. I can't say that word, but very fortunate. Ball comes off Dobson last. He should have been offside, and he is offside. Offside. No, it's got it on there. Come on. Oh, we need a new scoreboard operator. Ball played forward looking for Dan Mason over his head, but it's a free kick for a foul by Guy Hollis, and that's kind of in Slough's favour actually, because it looks as though Hull was about to get onto that loose ball, but it's a free kick here to our visitors Sholing, around about 35 yards away from goal. Standing over it is Alex Sawyer, and Slough just waiting for Jack Turner to organise a 2-man wall here. And it is going to be Sawyer who stands over this free kick for Sholing. And it plays it short here towards Dan Mason. Great defending again by George Wells, who sees it out well and gets up and straight back on with it. Good defending by George Wells, who's having a very good consistent season for the Rebels this afternoon. And it's to Slough at the moment, and we're just waiting for Jack Turner to take this goal kick for Slough. And Turner long into this grey sky here, looking for Ben Harris. Harris is header comes through to Bullpit. Bullpit plays the ball out here towards Lee Wart. Wart coming down the right hand side. Back in here towards Bullpit. Finds Byron Mason playing a lovely look. Oh, great defending by Sam Tugwell, who read the ball well, and his sliding tackle blocked the ball. It's picked up by Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And Slough still being on their defensive toes here. Ball rolled out to Guy Hollis here towards Lee Tugwell. Tugwell forced back by Bullpit. Back in towards Hollis and finds goalkeeper Turner. And a really flat atmosphere here at Arbour Park. Looking for Dobson. Dobson beaten to the ball by Cuthbertson. His header finds Wart. Wart loses the ball though to Dobson. Dobson finds Wells inside, plays it in towards Togwell. So lovely little play, but ball played in. McLean will clear that for Sholing. And Sam Togwell wins the header towards Lee Togwell. Takes it down on his thigh. Waits for the challenge to come in from Byron Mason. It goes out of play for a throw to the Rebels. And I think the Slough faithful have been replaced by the Zombies on the far end. I haven't heard a single song from the Rebels fans this afternoon, which is very frustrating. And I can just see a referee's assessor marking stuff down here at the moment in front of us. Ball played in. Dobson flicks it on towards Matt Stevens. Stevens holds it up, finds Swords. Swords can turn and plays it here towards Scott Davis. A little bit behind him, but he tries to play it on for Fraser, who continued his run, but Hall has to come across and play it back towards Gosney. He's been chased down by Stevens. His clearance is out here towards Wart, and Wart's header is behind his own player. It goes out of play for a throw to the Rebels. And it's George Wells to take this throw. Finds Dobson back here towards Wells. It's now 10 yards inside the Sholing half. It's one back here by Cuthbertson, and here with Wart, the ex-Poole Town player, running with the ball. Cuthbertson is the outside. And Wart takes a shot there, and that's well wide of the goal. And more likely to trouble the... it just flashed up on the board, the current score with the goal scorers. We're all getting excited. No one else has seen it. I think everyone's so captivated by they're captivated by the scoreboard that they haven't actually realised they're going on. Can someone get some singing going on? I'm not going to shout in case I get told off, but we need to have a word at heart. I think it's because the bar's been shut. That's what it is. But there you go. So ball played out here flicked on by Dobson. Cuthbertson, header back towards Castle. He plays the ball forwards here, and Guy Hollis wins a header in towards Dobson. Flicks on here to Matty Stevens. Stevens up against Castle. Stevens has a chance to run at there, but getting on his back foot. Cuts inside. Bewitson past him. Plays it across. It's great across the goal and just misses the post on the far hand side. Gets a touch off a Sholing player out for a corner. And Slough have a chance here now with... I can hear some Slough fans chanting. What's going on? Someone's woken them up from there. They must have all been out on a Friday night. Never a good thing before a Saturday game, I can tell you that. Dobson to take this in-swinging corner from the Rebels. Plays it right underneath the goal. It's just over the top of the bar and out of play for a goal kick. And it's a goal kick here for Sholing. Scored 2-0 to Slough. 33 minutes gone so far of the first half. And Gosney, the goalkeeper, will get the game back underway with this kick. Decent kick here, looking for Wart, but it's Lee Togwell's header. It only comes as far as Byron Mason, who plays it in here towards Bullpit. Bullpit here towards Byron Mason, in towards Cuthbertson, the right back. Waits for Wart to make a movement. Plays in towards Wart. Wart controls the ball well, being forced away from goal, but plays it back here towards Castle. So now putting some pressure on the Sholing team. Played forwards here, looking for Dan Mason. Headed away by Guy Hollis. Source gets there first for Slough, finds Lee Togwell. Togwell under pressure from Bullpit, but plays it out here towards Sean Fraser. Fraser inside towards Scott Davis. Davis plays it out to George Wells. Wells plays the ball down looking for Ben Harris. Holds the ball up well. Shakes off the challenge, gets bumped there by Byron Mason. Free kick there. And Slough try to take it a little bit quick, but the referee says come back. And it's a free kick for Slough, taken quickly by George Wells towards Sam Togwell. Played across here, 10 yards inside their own half by Guy Hollis. In towards Swords, heavy touch by Swords, and the ball ricochets kindly to Lee Togwell. Flicking it out for Matt Stevens to run down the far right hand side, but Miller will wait for the ball to clear it straight out of play. No, it's still in play. And Guy Hollis comes there, wins the header in towards Sean Fraser, towards Swords. Swords, some crunching challenges coming in from Sholing here at the moment. Referee doesn't seem to be picking up on these at the moment, and it's clear with Davis. Davis back out here towards Hollis. Finds Louis Swords down the right hand side. Swords plays it in, it's cleared by Miller, and finds Dan Mason. Mason skips past the challenge well. here in towards the number 7 Sawyer. Been challenged well by Slough, and Sawyer does well to get the ball back. It's a free kick though for a foul by Lee Togwell, and I can't believe out of all the challenges that have gone in, he gives that as a foul, but nothing that's gone on before. And it's taken. Castle tried to take it quickly. The referee was in the way. Ball played out here towards McLean. In towards Hall, just inside the Slough half. Back towards McLean, the left back. Goes all the way back to Miller. Miller, the centre back. Has to go all the way back towards his goalkeeper. Great work by Matty Stevens. He's just waiting for someone else to help him. Ball's here with Castle, the centre back. In here towards Bullpit. Played out looking for Wart. Wart holds the ball up well. Finds the right back Cuthbertson. Inside a one by Lee Togwell. In towards Ben Harris. Harris trying to find Dobson. It's one back by Castle though. Castle plays the ball in and finds Byron Mason. Mason goes all the way back towards the goalkeeper Gosney. So now putting some pressure on here. When ball played out looking for Hull, who keeps the ball in, and it hits Davis on the back. Comes off Hall's last, and Hall gets a lucky ricochet. Plays the ball in to Mason. Mason got a chance here, bursting through 1-on-1 with the goal. Jumps through, gets a shot. It hits Fraser on the backside and goes out of play for a corner to the home side. Their first corner of the game. And the small band of Sholing fans out singing the Rebels here this afternoon. And it's going to be a corner on the far hand side. It's going to be Sawyer will take this in-swinging corner here for them. Back through, flicked onto the back post by Dan Mason. It will go out of play for a goal kick. I know, give him another corner. But a little bit strange there. I thought that came off a Sholing player, but it's actually given out as a goal, another corner. And again, it's Sawyer that comes across to the near side now to take this one. This will be an out-swinging corner. And it's 37 minutes gone here at the moment. And Sawyer with this corner for the visitors. Played in. Oh, and it's gone in, and it's Dan Mason. I think with a goal, it's one of the two Masons. It is Dan Mason with a goal on 38 minutes, just from a short corner that was played in with some power. Mason with his 15th goal of the season makes it 3-1 here. As Sholing get a goal back. Slough defending poorly. And he just guided the well-driven ball into the back of the net. And Sholing are back in the game here. And Slough with the kick-off here. Just on their laurels here. It's here with George Wells. Played forwards. Easy for Cuthbertson to take the ball down and play forwards. Looking for the goal scorer Mason. Finds inside here towards Bullpit. Trying to find Wart down the right-hand side. Sholing got a bit of something about them here. Ben Harris coming back to help out. Ball played in. It's Hollis with the header away. Lee Tugwell gets there first. Davis turns. Plays it forwards, finding Matty Stevens. Stevens trying to turn against Miller. Miller's a bit of bigger side to him. Plays it here for the run of swords. But McLean comes across and goes back towards his goalkeeper, Douglasy. Chased down by Swords. His clearance isn't the best, and that will fall to Ben Harris. Harris's touches. He's still got the ball. Back you flick into the path of Dobson. Dobson, chance to play the ball in. Plays it in towards Swords. Oh, it goes all the way across, and it's going to be cleared by Hull, who has time and gives the ball away to Lee Togwell, who spots the danger quickly. Plays it down here for Matty Stevens, down the right-hand side of the penalty area. It's got Sean Fraser coming on the overlap. Still here with Matty Stevens. Gets to the byline. Tries to get his cross in. It's come off Miller for a corner to the Rebels. And Dobson will go across to take this one. Slough looking to restore their 2-goal lead from this corner, but they need a little bit of things. Hollis and Sam Togwell going forwards for this. In-swinging corner to come in from James Dobson. Slough just looking for something. Dobson plays it into the box. It's headed away from everyone. Comes off a Sholing player last. It'll be out for a throw to the Rebels on the far-hand side. And it's going to be Hollis with this long throw into the box. Headed away well by Dan Mason, and here towards Wart. Wart holds the ball up. Trying to find the run of ball. Dobson gets a touch into it there, and come on, referee. He's given a foul there against Dobson, but he's let some lot worse challenges go in his first half. And it's a free kick for Sholing inside their own half, inside the centre circle of their own half. And the referee just telling them to take it like a little bit closer, further away. And Miller, the centre-back, standing over it to take this one. And floats the ball in, looking for the goal scorer. Flicks the ball on, but that runs through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And Turner just waiting for Slough to get a little bit further up the field before he takes this kick. And played out here towards Swords. Swords flicks it on, looking for Ben Harris on the far hand side. Harris can't get there. Goes out of play for a throw to the away side. And McLean will take this one on the far hand side. 15 yards inside his own half. And looks for Dan Mason, who does well to win the head on. Lee Togwell gets it for Slough, and it's played out here towards George Wells. Wells being urged to drive forward with the ball and runs with it. Played in towards Lee Togwell on the edge of the box. Play forward to Matty Stevens. Ball back, it's got to be handball, referee. And Sholing have cleared it. He kicked it against his own hand. It's not deliberate, but it's still a handball. And he took it away from goal. And I think the referee didn't want to give 2 penalties. Ball's thrown in here towards Sam Togwell, being chased down here by Bullpit, who's doing a lot of work here. Jamie Bullpit for Sholing. Ball's here with Jack Turner. Turner looking for the ball out, looking for James Dobson. Flicks it on well into the path of George Wells, who's continued his run down the overlap. Gets a touch. Oh, it's great defended by Wart. Plays it off Wells. And it's a throw to Sholing right by the corner flag in their own half. And Cuthbertson will be the player that goes across to take this one. And he eventually takes the throw. And it's flicked on by Mason. Flicks it the wrong way in towards Ben Harris. Here's to find Lee Togwell. Togwell shoots from distance, but that's well wide of the goal. And out of play for a goal kick. And Slough seem to have lost a lot of their voices behind the goal this afternoon. Very quiet behind there. As we wait for Gosney to take this goal kick to get this game back underway. Just a little bit slow. Ball played well, won by Lee Togwell. But apparently he's adjudged to have fouled. It's a free kick. And Slough just a little bit annoyed with the referee here. Seems to be giving everything Sholing's way. Just like 2 players jump for the ball, and it's a free kick here to the visitors. And it's Sawyer to take this free kick. Played into the box. That'll go all the way through to Jack Turner. And he'll happily just take that and slow the game down a little bit here. Launches a long kick here, looking for James Dobson. Dobson tries to get a touch. He can't get a touch. It's out of play for a throw to Sholing. We'll give you the half-time scores as well when we obviously get to half-time. Oh, just a while taking someone through the ball. It hit the fence and went wide. So we've got a ball back in the end. Short throw in here towards Bullpit. Bullpit plays it off. Oh, Dobson almost hits our commentary position here. This is where the Tannoy man earns his money. There you go. That's the most useful thing he's done all afternoon. As it's Cuthbertson to take this throw for Sholing. Played in. Togwell wins it. Lee Togwell for Slough. Running with the ball. Trying to find the run of Stevens on the far hand side, but too heavy. And McLean goes back towards the goalkeeper. Gosney takes a touch again. And he clears the ball this time. Flicked on by Sawyer into the path of Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson up against ball. Played in quickly by Bullpit. Headed away by Slough. Dive in header there. Flicked in towards... Oh, he left it by mistake. It's to with Dobson. Dobson. Good challenge there by Bullpit. Dobson sticks the leg out. Ball's here with Wart. Wart cuts inside. So Sholing on the attack here. They've got numbers in. Wart takes a shot. It's a good save though by Jack Turner. But Slough are too busy arguing with themselves and the referee to concentrate on what's going on here this afternoon. And it's balls here with Jack Turner, who's done well from that save there, from the Lee Wart shot, and just drops the ball down. Played it in here. It'll be a free header for Cuthbertson, who just wastes his header by heading it straight out of play for a throw to Slough. And Slough need a little bit of geeing up from their own fans here. Ball played forward over the head of Dobson. Poor throw by Slough. Comes back out here towards George Wells. And Wells plays the ball down the line. 1 minute of added time indicated by the referee. Comes off Castle last. It'll be a throw to the Rebels. And we're into that 1 minute of added time now. Have you turned the scoreboard off? And it's ball's here with Matty Stevens. Runs across the 18-yard box. Tries to get a ball out, looking for a foul there. Again, the referee doesn't give it, much to the annoyance of the Slough Town players who feel it was a foul though. But the ball's here with Sean Fraser with a throw for Slough on the halfway line. And it's thrown here towards Jack Turner. Got around 20 seconds of this first half left here. Ball with Sam Togwell in towards Scott Davis. Davis immediately under pressure by the really hard-working ball pit in centre midfield for Sholing. Played out here towards Guy Hollis. Finds Fraser. Fraser goes back towards Jack Turner. And Slough just hoping to see this half out here. And there you go. It is the half-time whistle here. It's finishing this first half. Slough Town 2, Sholing 1. The goals for Slough coming on 9 minutes from Ben Harris, and a goal on 26 minutes, a penalty by James Dobson. Sholing came back into the game with an effort from Dan Mason, their leading scorer, with his 15th goal of the season, making it 2-1 to the Rebels. But a rather flat atmosphere here this afternoon. As I'm not sure if it's the weather or whether it's not a big crowd or whatever that's going on, but yes, it's a very flat atmosphere at Arbour Park here this afternoon. Very disappointing not to hear any shouting or anything going on from the Rebels fans. And sometimes I think the players do need that little bit of a boost from the fans. But as of yet, they haven't had it yet so far. And there you go. So we'll try and give you some scores from other games featuring the teams in our league in the FA Cup, all of them in FA Cup action. So we'll try and give you those and some other half-time scores from around as well. So it's a very, very dull and quiet day here at Arbour Park. I think a lot of people going to the bar expecting alcohol and not finding any, which will be a bit of a strange. We're trying to wait for some Slough fans to walk past, because we're going to have to G them up, because it doesn't look like they want to start singing. And we're just going to see if we can find someone, just to have a go at them, just to kind of G them up. Oh, well done. That's our new commercial manager, Craig, just getting a cup of tea there. Luxuries of being famous. Well, not famous, obviously, but very quiet atmosphere at Harbour. We're just going to see if we can find someone, just to, because we need to G them up a little bit here. And just a moment. Right, we've done our bit. We've given the fans a bit of a kick up the backside, so hopefully they'll be a little bit louder in the second half. They couldn't be any quieter, that's for sure. It's just, gosh, it's terrible. So we'll try and give you some of the scores from games around featuring the teams in the National League South. We'll try and give you some updated scores from those games as well. Just a reminder that if this game does go to a replay, it'll be Tuesday night away to Sholing. So we'll try and keep you updated on that. I believe it'll be a 7:45 kickoff for those. So I'm just going to try and make a note of some of the scores in the Emirates FA Cup as it is. So just bear with me as I think we have got one upset on the cards at the moment that I've already seen. And it's we're just going to have a look around. If you lot make a cup of tea, I have to apologise. There's no half-time quiz this afternoon. Basically what it was there was an event here last night at the football club, and I was working the bar, and I didn't get home until quite late, and I haven't had time today to do a half-time quiz. So my apologies for that. But if someone wants to make a quiz up, I'm quite happy to if you've got a decent quiz and whatever, I'll put your quiz on. I'm not too ashamed to give out thanks and praise to other people. So if someone wants to do a quick half-time quiz for us, they can do. And as I just try and find some scores, couple of upsets I've come on to already, and we'll try and run through those for you as I just try and gain some of the scores from games featuring our teams. And we're just trying to get there for you, just to update you. So if you want to go and make yourselves a cup of tea, and I'll try and find some scores for you. You wouldn't believe I do this most weeks, would you? Right, let me see what we can find for you this afternoon. I won't give you the Premier League, as we know you like to watch Match of the League. I can tell you that the scoreboard has not only been working for 45 minutes, but during half-time, it comes through and it gives all the details. So when you do the scoreboard, there's an app that we have. And oh my word, what has he just done there? That's right, Nathan Smart's just booted that ball into someone's garden, and I tell you what, that's some feat where you've got to clear the goal, the stand, the netting behind that, and the tree. But he's managed to do that. So the scoreboard comes up and it gives you all the details. So on the app you can put things like shots on target, offsides, saves, goals, yellow cards, and all this kind of stuff. And it now comes up on our scoreboard, which happens to be working fairly well. So that's always good to see. So far it's working well, and that's what we like. So we won't give you the scores from the Premier League, but we will try and give you the scores from the other leagues as well, if we can just find some. I've got a bit of a sore throat. Okay, from the Sky Bet Championship, it's Aston Villa 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Derby County 3, Brentford 1, Ipswich 0, Bolton 0, Leeds United 0, Birmingham 2, Middlesbrough 0, Swansea 0, Forest 0, Rotherham United 0, Reading 1, Hull 0, Sheffield United 1, Preston North End 0, Stoke 0, Blackburn 2, and West Brom 0, Millwall 0. Just bear with me for a second as we go into Sky Bet League 1. It's Accrington Stanley 1, AFC Wimbledon 0, Blackpool 0, Luton 0, Bristol Rovers 3, Coventry 1, Charlton 1, Plymouth Argyle 1, it's Doncaster 1, Bradford 0, Gillingham 0, Peterborough 1, Oxford 0, Oxford United 0, Walsall 1, Portsmouth 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1, Scunthorpe 0, Shrewsbury 0, Southend 0, Fleetwood 0, and Sunderland 3, Rochdale 0. Into League 2, it's Bury 0, Carlisle 0, Cambridge United 0, Mansfield 1, Crewe 0, Port Vale 0, Exeter City 0, Cheltenham 1, Forest Green Rovers 0, Crawley 0, Lincoln 0, Milton Keynes Dons 0, Morecambe 0, Macclesfield 0, Northampton 0, Notts County 0, Oldham 0, Colchester 1, Stevenage 0, Grimsby 0, Tranmere 0, Newport 1, and Yeovil 0, Swindon 0. That means there's not a home side with a single goal in League 2 at the moment. So there you go. We're going to see if we can find you some scores from some of the other games as well. I can tell you that St Albans versus Whiteleaf was actually postponed. This is due to a FA charge which Whiteleaf are contesting and wasn't done in time of the game. So that game was postponed to be played at a later date, obviously. So I can give you that one. I'm trying to just find some more scores for you. Just trying to find some with teams in our league, which is a little... So
you have to go and check with Mark, as they announced it round there.
Someone's having a.
Yeah, no, we're tweeting that. That's wrong. That's what I was saying. No,
Someone's complaining they got a winning ticket for the golden goal, and at the moment it's there's a fight going on about the golden goal score. There you go. Right, we're going to give you the scores that we've got featuring the teams in the National League South. AFC Uckfield Town 1, Dartford 0. That is an upset. It's Banbury United 2, Banbury United 0, Bath City 2. Barrows and Pitsea 0, Hemel Hempstead 3. Chelmsford City 0, Worthing 1. Concord Rangers 0, Margate 0. Dulwich 2, Tonbridge 0. East Thurrock 1, Whitehawk 1. Hampton and Richmond 1, Burgess Hill Town 0. And I've got Willstone 0, Great Wakering Rovers 0. Woking 1, Totting. Oh, something's going on here. Tooting and Mitcham 0 is the latest scores. I'm going to see if I find you some more for you this afternoon. I'm just going to see if anyone else has decided to put a quiz on. Claire Queen's far too hungover. You're not the only one, Claire. I think. What did you get up to that you're far hungover? Just come on, give us all the details, Claire. Don't worry about the quiz. Just what did you get up to last night? Come on. We'll just have a. What did Claire do last night in quiz instead of a football quiz? Might be easier. Might get more people taking it up, to be honest. As there you go. So we're just. I'm trying to keep my ears out because we've got the scoreboard working. It's the usual. We've got the scoreboard working. What's going on? I don't know what's going on. Something's going on. I can tell you it's Hungerford 0, Wantage Town 0 as a half-time score. I'm just going to run through those for a while. So I will enjoy my cup of tea though as well in a second. So we'll see how it goes. Welling 1, Chesham 1. With Jefferson Louis, who was at Farnborough up until a couple of weeks ago, and he's gone back to Chesham. I'm trying to find the Billericay. It's strange that Billericay are never on social media, isn't it? Anyone? I'm just trying to find the Billericay score. It's Chippenham 1, Swindon Supermarine 1. So there you go. It's just very quiet here this afternoon. I don't know what's going on. When it's quiet, I'm just going to have a little bit of a cup of tea. It's definitely tea weather today, isn't it? It's just strange. It's you get into like the middle of September and you start thinking, oh, blimey! For once, it's getting cold. It's normally freezing cold in September, but it's been quite nice recently, hasn't it? So there you go. But we're just waiting as some of the teams start to come out for the start of the second half. Just going to keep our eye on see if there's any substitution as the teams start to come out. So we're just keeping our eye out on that this afternoon. And just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So Slough are out, and they have no additional players out for the start of the second half. So the starting 11 for the Rebels is Jack Turner in goal, 2 Sean Fraser, 3 George Wells, 4 Guy Hollis, 5 is the captain Sam Togwell, 6 is Lee Togwell, James Dobson who scored from a penalty, Scott Davis, Ben Harris wears 9 who scored, Matt Stevens and Louis Saws. Just waiting to see on the Sholing 11 as they come out. So just counting on 9. Got 9 of their players so far. Sorry about the silence, they're just having a cup of tea. It is a little bit cold here this afternoon. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. I'm still waiting for one Sholing player to come out, and there he is. So no changes for the opposition as well. So their starting 11 for the second half is Ryan Gosney in goal. 2 is TJ Cuthbertson. 3 Marvin McLean. 4 Peter Castle. 5 Dan Miller. 6 Jamie Bullpit. 7 Alex Sawyer, 8 is the captain Byron Mason, 9 is their goal scorer Dan Mason, 10 Lee Waugh, and 11 is Jake Hall. Those are the starting 11s for the second half. Just waiting for the referee to make sure that everyone's in the right places before we start the second half here this afternoon. And it's going to be Sholing with the kick-off. Slough will be shooting from left to right. As we just wait for our referee, Mr. Michael Begley. Are you there? I was just going to do that one. And second half starts here, and ball played forward to McLean, the left back. Under pressure goes here towards Miller. Miller crosses 18-yard box to Castle. Back towards the goalkeeper, Gosney. Gosney under pressure. Good clearance from the goalkeeper. But Wells misses the touch there. It comes through to Wart here. Wart trying to keep the ball in on the far hand side. Does well and keeps hold of the ball. Plays it in here side to Byron Mason. Mason immediately closed down by Scott Davies. Out here towards Sawyer, in towards Bullpit. Bullpit has the ball at his feet. Plays it out to Wart on the far hand side. Wart turns and tries to make a bit of space. Skips past the challenge, but it comes through here towards Sawyer. And Sawyer back on the far hand side to Cuthbertson. Castle plays the ball forwards. It's chested down by Mason, who holds the ball up well and then finds Cuthbertson on the overlap. Ball played in and Sam Togwell clears. It's hooked clear by George Wells, and one for Ben Harris to chase here. And Harris tries to hold the ball up, skips past the challenge and runs down this right hand side inside towards Max Stevens. Stevens just can't get there, and the ball's here with Castle. Castle can bring the ball out and played through here back towards Castle. Plays it in, looking for the run of Hool. Hool holds the ball up and then finds Mason. Gets the ball back. Heavy touch by him allows Hollis to come and win the ball for Slough. And it's here with Tom Saws. Not Tom Saws, Louis Saws. Who's Tom Saws? Ball's here with James Dobson. Plays the ball, gets a touch off the Sholing player, and it's hooked by Castle. Hits Stevens and falls to Cuthbertson in towards trying to play the ball around. It's come back here towards Louis Saws. Saws now finds Scott Davies. Davies here towards Sean Fraser. Fraser running down this near hand side. Plays the ball in here towards Ben Harris. Turns on the edge of the box. Goes down. The referee says no foul. And it allows McLean to bring the ball out here for Sholing. Plays it a little bit further forwards, and it can't be kept in there by Bullpit, and it's out of play for a throw to the Rebels. And they're going to leave it for Sean Fraser to come and take this throw. And aim towards Ben Harris. Ben Harris trying to flick it on. McLean comes across and clears. Clears well. Finds Dan Mason. Mistake there by Bullpit. Now trying to win the ball back. But Bullpit skips past a couple of challenges. Plays it out here towards Cuthbertson. That's good play by Sholing. Here towards the right back. Plays the ball forwards looking for Mason. Great defending. It's an offside. We're not doing offsides today. Why not? Yeah, but it's a foul. Yeah, but it's on there. If you press it. Oh well. We're not arguing with the scoreboard operator. He is key today. Turner with this long ball from the free kick, looking for James Dobson. Dobson trying to shield the ball into the path of Wells, but it's won by Wart. Wart chasing back well and played in here towards Cuthbertson, the right back. Cuts inside on the halfway line. Still has the ball, runs it forwards, and it's well intercepted by Hollis. Lucky break here, comes through to Wart. Wart's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. And plays at the post. It's come back out. Wart gets a second chance. He puts the ball in. And Wart had a really good chance there to equalise for Sholing. And that's now clear long with Jack Turner. Comes off the head of Byron Mason for a throw to Slough. And Slough just didn't see the run from Wart, who'd done well. He'd actually won the ball back himself on the far hand side. Hits the bottom of the post, and Slough escape there. And they've not, since they've gone 2-0 up, Slough haven't been the better of the two sides. It's all been Sholing. To be fair to the visitors this afternoon. Will Tuck says it was Billericay 2, Burnham 1 at half time. Slough with the ball here with Sam Togwell, and Slough just looking a little bit lacklustre. I know the atmosphere is a bit lack here at Arbour Park, but Swords slides in and wins the ball. We're with Fraser. Fraser trying to find Stevens. Stevens on the edge of the 18-yard box. Back heels it in towards Dobson's path. Dobson now on the right hand side, trying to break down. Gets to the goal, shoots! Oh, and he just blazes it wide of the goal. A good effort though by Slough. And good work again by Max Stevens. Took a deflection. It's a corner to the Rebels. I forgot to say that, not just because you're here and you don't pick up on it, but it's a corner to the Rebels. And James Dobson is the player that goes across to take this. And again, Hollis send forward Sam Togwell. Hollis and Sam Togwell go forwards for the corner. I'm not very good. I tell you what, I don't feel well. We'll blame it on that. Dobson to take this out swinging corner, drills it in. Lee Togwell gets a flash on. Oh, it takes a deflection of Guy Hillis. He didn't know much about it, and it's chipped in by Gosney, the goalkeeper. Just falls into his hands, and a lucky ricochet there for Sholing. Could have gone anywhere, but into the arms of their goalkeeper, who launches a kick long into this greying night. Headed away well by Hollis. Flicked on by Lee Togwell. Finding Stevens. Stevens, little header in, finds path of Scott Davies. Davies just holds and turns inside towards Lee Togwell. Togwell immediately under pressure, loses the ball to Hoole. Hoole plays it in here towards Sawyer. Sawyer outside to the right back, Cuthbertson. Being fouled there by Scott Davies. It's a free kick to the visitors. Taken short towards Sawyer. Back out towards Cuthbertson. Plays the ball down in. So Sam Togwell with the header finds his brother Lee. Lee needs to just need to keep hold of the ball a little bit here. Played outside here towards Louis Swords. Swords with a chance to run at McLean. Holds it up in towards Stevens. This little flick goes the wrong way, and McLean comes and sweeps up for Sholing and finds Byron Mason. Played out on the far hand side towards Wart. Wart takes away from Wells and into the right back, Cuthbertson. Inside again to Byron Morse. It's now just being bypassed here at the moment. There's very lacklustre this afternoon. Ball chips forward. Sam Togwell beaten to the ball by Dan Mason, the scorer, but hooked away by Guy Hollis. Free header for Castle, who heads the ball back. Guy Hollis volleys it forwards for Slough. Just very scrappy by the Rebels at the start of this second half. Cuthbertson trying to go past Dobson on the far hand side. Plays the ball in. Little 1-2. Oh, Cuthbertson gets it back. Good play by Sholing down his near hand side. Gets a chance to put the cross in. Too close to the goalkeeper. Easily taken by Turner. And Slough just poor kick by him. Gives the ball away to Byron Mason, who's got time on the ball now for Sholing. Picks out Cuthbertson, who's in an advanced position. The right back likes to get forwards. Played back in here towards Byron Mason. Closed down well by Ben Harris. Comes off Harris last for a throw on the far hand side to Sholing. Slough still lead 2-1. We played 6 minutes of the second half. Back here to Castle, in towards Cuthbertson, skipping past the challenge of Ben Harris. Ben Harris trying to G his team up by showing it on the pitch. Ball's here towards Miller. Miller has his time, plays it out towards Castle, being chased down by Maddie Stevens. Now trying to find a bit of pace in their gear. In towards Byron Mason, overrun to ball. Gypsy forwards looking for the run of Dan Mason. Mason trying to hold the ball. Little backfield lick into the path of Ward, but it's well spotted by George Wells, who clears and finds James Dobson. Dobson flicking the ball on, trying to find Stevens. Stevens trying to turn, beaten to the ball by Byron Mason. It's still Sholing this second half in the better of the two teams. In towards Byron Mason. Has the ball. Time to play the ball forwards. Wart is surely offside. The linesman doesn't give it, and it comes off. He gets a touch to it now and is offside. And a free kick to the Rebels. And again, very quiet from the Slough fans behind that goal. On the far hand side, played the ball and it's come off. Takes the deflection, throw to the Rebels. Ben Harris takes it in towards Louis Swords. Back here towards Ben Harris, down the right hand side. Ben tries to release Sean Fraser. Fraser gets to the byline, gets across in, flicked away, comes through to Dobson, flicks it across the goal. It's gone all the way across, and Cuthbertson can see the ball. Keeps the ball in on the far hand side and clears for Sholing. Flicked on by Wart, only finds Sam Togwell. Togwell finds his brother Lee. Lee Togwell can turn inside the centre circle. Played in. Oh, Slough again trying these little balls. It's not working, and the ball's here with Byron Mason. Being chased well by Maddie Stevens. In towards Hoole. Hoole chased well by Fraser, who blocks the ball out of play for a throw. And it's a throw to Sholing with McLean to take it. McLean with the throw, looking for Wart. So he flicks the ball on well, and Sam Togwell takes it on his chest and goes back towards the goalkeeper Turner. And Turner flicks it down immediately, looking for Dobson. Dobson trying to turn, just got caught there, and Dobson's gone down injured. But Byron Mason plays the ball out to Cuthbertson on the right hand side. Comes down there, got a chance to put a cross in first time. Over the head of, comes towards Wart at the far post. He's trying to skip past the run of Finn, gets a shot in, and it's well saved by Jack Turner, who gathers well. And Dobson's down injured, which the referee hasn't seen. Turner just boots that ball almost out of the ground. And you're going to see a substitution. Warren Harris looks like he's going to come on. And I wonder if Slough will do a second substitution as well. Definitely looks like Warren Harris is going to be the player who comes on. I think Dobson's just getting some treatment at the moment. There is a injured Sholing player down as well, but they haven't seen that yet. Or is he just stretching? I think he's just stretching, actually, which is a rather weird thing to do. It looks like you might see a double substitution for the Rebels as well. Manny Williams being told to get changed here as well. And it looks as though Slough are going to ring the changes here at the start of the second half. Good afternoon to Richard Vice, who's listening. Thank you, Richard, for joining us. And Slough have been very lacklustre here this afternoon. And it's going to be a substitution. The referee has just asked for the balls to be moved a little bit closer to the halfway. So we're going to have a substitution for the Rebels. James Dobson is the player coming off. And he will be replaced by number 15, which is Warren Harris. And that substitution will be on 56 minutes. And Dobson slowly coming off for Warren Harris. First substitution of the game. If you've ever seen a programme on Dave, we've got a second substitution as well. And coming off is Ben Harris, replaced by Manny Williams. If you've ever seen a programme featuring... Oh look, he's got subs on the board and everything. He's getting well outside. There's a programme called the Alex Horn thing. Well, Alex Horn, if you've ever seen it, is a spitting image of the referee. I was just getting confused because we've just seen a substitution go on the board. And we got so excited, I've forgotten what we was talking about. And Manny Williams comes on for Ben Harris. Williams will go to partner Stevens up front. I don't think Ben Harris is too happy about being taken off. And Sholing very sportingly give the ball back to the Rebels. And it's ball's here with Jack Turner here at the moment. Looking for Warren Harris. Harris gets his head to it. In towards Williams. Williams holds the ball out into Warren Harris. Harris here against McLean. Gets the ball in towards Fraser. Takes a touch. Crosses in first time. Over the head of the goalkeeper. Actually does well to gather it at a second attempt there. And the two Slough substitutes working well already. But it's Gosney with the clearance out here. Looking for Wart, who seems to have swapped sides and is now playing on the left-hand side. Fraser goes back to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And Turner's ball will be headed away by Byron Mason. Lee Togwell tries to get there, and it's a foul by the opposition. And it's forward towards Warren Harris, who gets challenged. Manny Williams will chase it down the line. It goes back towards the goalkeeper, Gosney. Oh, poor clearance by him. Warren Harris can't get to it first. And it's here with Byron Mason. Mason spreads it out to Cuthbertson, the right back, just outside the edge of his box. Under pressure, plays it in. Warren Harris wins it and finds Lee Togwell. Togwell stretches and finds Manny Williams. Williams inside towards Scott Davies. Davies got a bit of space down the left-hand side where Tom Sawers is now plying his trade. Gets across in first time. Manny Williams at back post, can't get it. It's headed away by Miller. Comes through to Wart. Wart turns and plays it in here towards Bullpit. Bullpit up towards Dan Mason. Holds the ball up. Back towards Bullpit. Plays it forwards. Looking for the runner. Sawyer, who continued his run. Sam Togwell with a header away. Finds Sean Fraser. And Fraser plays it back towards Sam Togwell. Back in towards the goalkeeper. And the ball's here with Jack Turner. And I've got an itch on my back. Headed on by Warren Harris. And it comes through. I got me pen caught on me things. Don't worry about it. Nothing much going on here this afternoon at the moment. Ball's here with George Wells. Looking for Maddie Stevens. Stevens not had much luck this afternoon. Ball's here with Castle. Castle chipping the ball forwards for Dan Mason. Beats the ball by Sam Togwell. First to the ball though is Byron Mason. Sam Togwell get into the next one. Again Byron Mason's first there. Ball over the top here for Hall to chase. But he can't keep that in. It's out for a goal kick. And you've got to say it's disappointing. You've got to see a substitution for Sholing. And coming on is number 22, which is great because I haven't got a 22 on the list. But it's Jake Hoole off and Target is on for him. and that substitution is on 60 minutes. So substitution for Sholing is Hool off and Target on. And interesting to see where he lines up. Game will kick off with a Slough goal kick. And it's noticeable when the Sholing faithful of about 20 outsing the Slough faithful behind the goal. Turner, long kick down the field. Manny Williams does well, flicks the ball on. Stevens tries to get there. It's a great goalkeeping there. Very brave diving at the feet there. And it's here with Gosney, the Sholing goalkeeper. Plays a long ball down the field, looking for Wart. Wart controls the ball well and finds Dan Mason. Mason spreads it out here towards Bullpit. Bullpit just being forced backwards here towards McLean. McLean has the ball covering, bringing it forwards, trying to make a space, but it gives away to Warren Harris. Harris won the ball, but then it's won back here by Bullpit. Then Hollis won the ball, but Bullpit with a challenge won it back, and it's here with Sholing. Slough fans not happy with that challenge. Ball played out to Cuthbertson on the far hand side. Slough, the poorer of the two teams, has started this second half. Sholing, it's all them at the moment. Ball's here with Byron Mason. Plays the ball down the field. It'll be a chase here for the substitute Target. Gets there, plays it off Togwell for a corner to Sholing. And I don't know what you could do, but the Slough 11 are as bad as the fans. There's just no energy or anything about them this afternoon. And it's Sholing on the attack here with a corner to be taken. Out-swinging corner. They scored from a corner in the first half. Again, it's drilled in, and it's headed by Castle all the way back. It's actually gone out by Castle and out for a goal kick to the Rebels. We're trying to get the Tannoy man to go and sing. You can do it. You do the commentary. I'll go and sing. It'll be fine. And wait for Turner to take this goal kick. We're trying to get the Slough fans to get behind their team here. Ball flicked on by Warren Harris. He'll get a chance to win the second header and does so. Finds Matty Stevens. Stevens trying to play the ball on. It's hit a deflection. Comes out towards Scott Davis. Davis has been very quiet for Slough this afternoon. In towards George Wells. Wells takes the touch. Plays it out here towards Warren Harris. Got too much on it. Out of play. And kind of sums up Slough's second half performance. And the throw from McLean finds Miller. Miller being chased down by Manny Williams. Back here towards the goalkeeper, Gosney. Gosney skies it up into the air. Lee Togwell wins the header, but heads it the wrong way. Gets it out of play for a throw to Sholing. And McLean will take this throw. And looks around the field. Flicked on by Wart. Only as far as George Wells. And Wells urged to bring the ball forwards. Gets pulled back there, but the referee says play on. Ball played out here by him. It's going to be picked up by Sean Fraser, who continues to run down the right-hand side. Fraser's got Warren Harris behind him. Trying to turn Mason, but it comes off Byron Mason for a throw to Slough. And Warren Harris made a run and it wasn't picked up. Ball played back here towards Lee Togwell. All the way back towards the goalkeeper. Slough are just lacklustre here, and they're on the poor. Flicked on well by Louis Swords. In towards George Wells. Wells robbed of the ball by Target. And it's Sholing with the ball here with Byron Mason. Plays the ball forwards. Flicked on here looking for the run of Wart. Wart trying to get goal side of Hollis. Hollis gets clattered. And the referee finally says it's a foul by Wart. And a free kick to the Rebels. And I think the Slough fans have been waiting for that free kick for quite a while. We've played 18 minutes of the second half. The rain's starting to come down a bit heavier here. Still Slough with the 2-1 lead. Warren Harris does well. Flicks the ball on. Trying to find Williams. Castle comes off. Plays it off him. And it's a throw to Slough. 25 yards away from goal. In towards Warren Harris. Touched by him finds Sean Fraser. Fraser turns away. Trying to flick it in towards Manny Williams. Williams holds the ball up here for the Rebels. Under pressure from Castle and runs it out of play for a throw to Sholing. And again, Slough just can't string more than 3 passes together. It's the throw here to Sholing, which McLean will take. And McLean just waiting for someone to come along and take this throw. Cleared by Guy Hollis, trying to find Matty Stevens. Miller with the header away. Sam Togwell wins it back for Slough. Byron Mason flicks it back on. Scott Davis heads it on, tries to find Swords. Swords tries to let it run, but Cuthbertson saw that and goes back towards the goalkeeper. And Gosney has plenty of time on the ball here. Plays it forwards for Sholing, trying to find Dan Mason. It's off him, but falls to lead Togwell. Togwell plays the ball to Warren Harris. It takes a deflection. McLean being forced backwards here. And goes back towards his own goalkeeper. Being chased down. Matt Stevens chases Gosney down. Gosney clears the ball. Only as far as Bullpit, who heads it on. Sean Fraser heads away. Comes here towards Bullpit. The ball's out of play. Takes the throw quickly in towards Dan Mason. Hooked on by Bullpit. Trying to find the run of target, but that will run through to Jack Turner in the goal. And Slough are absolutely terrible this second half. And it's a long kick here by Turner. Flicked on well by Manny Williams. It will come through to McLean, who heads it on. Backs it the wrong way. And Byron Mason's there first for Sholing. Wins the ball back, goes back to the goalkeeper, Gosney. Gosney got the best of clearances, only as far as Lee Togwell. Togwell spreads it on the far hand side, intercepted though, but it falls kindly to George Wells. Wells being urged to travel into the box. Plays it across, he plays it too far across. McLean gets a chance to clear. And it's here with Bullpit, who heads it on and finds Wart. And again, Slough have the ball in a dangerous position but can't do anything with it. It's here with Sholing, playing it across here towards Byron Mason. Overruns it, and here with Louis Swords. Swords trying to come down the left hand side. Skips past a couple of challenges. Being held up well by two players. Gets down the byline. Gets a cross in. Great cross in. It's headed away by Castle. And it's here with Cuthbertson. Clears down the line towards Dan Mason. Trying to flick the ball on. Guy Hollis will cushion header on towards Togwell. Again, it's all those to Castle though for Sholing. Played in towards Wart. It's definitely Sholing holding the ball up player here. And it's Wart with the ball now. Being forced wide by Sean Fraser. Has to do it all himself. Plays it in looking for Mason, but it's left and it goes through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And I don't know. I think Mr. Brent, if you're listening, can you message someone from behind the goal? Because I haven't heard a peep from the Slough fans the entire second half. It's absolutely terrible. Ball played forwards, looking for the run of Warren Harris. Tries to get past McLean. McLean takes a touch and clears down the line. Ball kept in play, and it's here towards Manny Williams. Finds Sean Fraser. Fraser inside. Just gets caught there, and that's number 2 that he's done, referee. Yeah, and I think the referee might finally decide that he's going to have a word with a player. He's let a lot of things go to. He wants the captain to come over. And Wart is going to get a talking to, and that's it from the teams. And I can tell you that Sholing have committed 8 fouls. I guess that Wart's mostly may have done about 7 of those. As it's very quiet. And Slough fans just shouting rubbish because that's all they can do today. They've been very poor this afternoon. 67 minutes gone. Slough lead 2-1. This free kick played down the line here towards Manny Williams on the edge of the box, trying to get the ball out from underneath his feet. Surrounded by 2 players. Gets a cross in low. Bouncing around. It's on the edge of the area. It's cleared by Bullpit. Hits a Slough player, Fraser. One back here with Manny Williams. Here with Davis. Davis cuts inside. A couple of challenges. Into George Wells. Wells being urged to run forward the ball. Skips past the challenger target. Crosses first time. Looking for Stevens. Over his head, and it's out of play for a goal kick. First time a good ball's come in on the left hand side for a while. But nothing on the end of it, and it's out for a goal kick to Sholing. And the rain just starting to come down now as the fans on the first 3-4 rows of decide to move backwards because they're getting a little bit wet. Gosney's kick headed away by Harris, only as far as Sawyer. Sawyer plays the ball forward, looking for the run of Wart. Skips off the surface and comes through to Turner in the Slough goal. And Turner just waiting. He's got Wart standing in front of him just before he takes his kick. And a kick by Turner, trying to find Manny Williams. Slough looking for a free kick. Ball's here with Scott Davis. Finds Louis Sawers on the left-hand side. Sawers up against Cuthbertson. Tries to get past him. Crosses first time. Bit to the far post. It's great defending by McLean. Heads it off. Warren has his head. It's out for a throw to Slough on the near-hand side. Well, it's taken 24 minutes before a Slough fan does a chant. Ball played in here by Sean Fraser. Manny Williams. This ball played across. It's Fraser challenge. Louis Sawers wins the ball back for Slough and does well on the edge of the box. having his heels hit. Davis comes in and just skips a challenge and cleans the ball out, but it looks as though Sholing have got a bit more bite in them than Slough have at the moment, and they're clearly the better of the two teams here at the moment. Ball down the left-hand side for Target. Overruns the ball, and Slough see it out of play for a throw. And while we wait, we'll see if we can get some latest scores for you from other games. As Slough's throw is headed away, it goes out of play for another throw to the Rebels. And it's George Wells with the throw on the far hand side. Hampton and Richmond still leading 1-0. Flicked on by Swords, headed away by Castle. Comes through to Byron Mason. Mason has time on the ball. Just tries to slip it down the far hand side. Goes out of play for a throw to Slough. And you're going to see a third and final substitution for the Rebels. Throwing all their things in one. It looks like Chris Flood is going to be the player that comes on. And I wonder if that will be for Matty Stevens. Waiting for the throw to come in on the far hand side. George Wells it will be to take the throw. And again looking for Swords. Swords beaten to the ball by Cuthbertson. Lee Tugwell rises high. Header finds Manny Williams. Finds Sean Fraser just inside his own half. Fraser with the ball down looking for the run of Manny Williams. Williams takes it on his chest. Oh, just can't control it properly. But good play by the Rebels, and it's out of play though for a goal kick to Sholing. And it's still 2-1 to Slough. 70 minutes gone here at Arbour Park. Gosney with the clearance, looking for the substitute Target. Well won by Sean Fraser. In towards Warren Harris. Harris in finds Manny Williams. Williams holds the ball up. Here with Lee Tugwell. Finds Matty Stevens. Stevens turns, holds the ball up here. In towards Lee Tugwell. Tugwell's got Swords on the wide. Finds Swords. Swords with a shot. Oh, it's just high. Wide, and unlike myself, it's not very handsome. And that will be the key for a substitution for the Rebels. And it will be Matt Stevens who comes off. And coming on is Chris Flood. And Stevens getting a warm round of applause. And it's substitutions. Manny Stevens off, Chris Flood coming on. Stevens hasn't had a lot of service, unfortunately, but has run his socks off again. And comes off to a warm round of applause. And it's a sign of a good player who's disappointed to come off, very much like Ben Harris, disappointed not to have come off. Of course, this kick goes straight out of play from the goal kick. And it will be a throw to Slough. Just waiting for someone to get the ball. And there's a small muttering of Slough fans making a song. I didn't make it. Couldn't hear what it was. Ball played in. It comes to Flood. Flood to Warren Harris. Harris back in towards Flood. Flood wide on the thing. Bounces around. Warren Harris tries to get there. Breaks in for no target. Overruns it. Oh! The referees let that one go. Davis is down on the floor. And it's up with Sholing on the far hand side with Watt. They're up and forwards in numbers. Ball played in by Watt. It takes a shot. Good save by Jack Turner. It comes through to Sam Tugwell who clears. And Slough are incensed with the referee here, who has let a number of beefy challenges come in from the opposition here. And has not picked up on any of them. And he claims that the ball was won. And Davis is getting some treatment here on the floor at the moment. And it looks like it's his calf or something that he's injured there. So we'll just see if we can find you some latest scores. As we've got, I'm just trying to see what's going on. Eastbourne Borough are leading away to Brantham Athletic 1-0. Windsor are still losing 1-0. Chelmsford have got one back. It's Chelmsford 1, Worthing 1. Stratford 2, Redditch 0. Davies is hobbling off. I think he's got a few words to say to the referee. None of them repeatable live on air, obviously. Some Slough fans have made some noise. It's not much, but at least we know they're alive. As throw comes in on the far hand side from Sholing. It's Cuthbertson with the throw. Headed away by Flood. Flicked on by Wells. Comes here towards Castles. Castles' header finds the edge of the box. Oh, Turner makes a mistake, but he gathers the ball at the second attempt. Took his eye off the ball. And 30 minutes gone of the second half. It's the Sholing fans who have seen their side outplay Slough in the second half. Turner, long ball down the field, looking for Flood. It's headed away by Miller. Can't be kept in. It's a throw here to the Rebels. And Sean Fraser will take it in front of our commentary position. And Fraser, long throw trying to find Chris Flood. McLean is time to intercept it, but can't keep the ball in. It's out of play for another throw to Slough, level with the 18-yard box of the Sholing penalty area. Ball played in towards Flood. Flood holding the ball up on the sideline. Gives it back towards Fraser. Fraser scores his first time. Manny Williams just can't get it. It's well taken by the goalkeeper, Gosney. And he looks to get his side on the attack. Spotted by George Wells, who heads it the wrong way. But Sam Togwell's there for the Rebels to hook the ball clear. And it's aimed towards Warren Harris. Headed away. Comes to Fraser. Hits him on the hand. Oh, come on! Referee! It clearly hits the hand of a Sholing player. It's accidental, but it diverts the ball from the route of his path, and it still was Sholing. Slough won the ball back anyway, here with Flood. Flood bringing the ball forward, finds Manny Williams. Williams turns, looking for a bit of movement. No one there. Scott Davis is there. Oh, Davis just gives the ball away to Castle. Castle can bring the ball out here for Sholing. Plays it on the side to Cuthbertson. Saws is slow in getting back. Ball played forward here towards Sawyer. In towards Ward. Back in towards Dan Mason. Scorer of their only goal. Davis gets his body in the way. And then it's blocked. It hits a Sholing player in the body. It's here with Warren Harris. Sholing tiring here in the latter stage of the second half. Warren Harris runs down the right hand side. Needs a little bit of help. Goes down the right hand side. Up against McLean. Lee Togwell comes in for Slough to give him a play. Played inside towards Manny Williams. Williams holds the ball up towards Fraser. Finds Scott Davis in towards George Wells. Wells takes a touch. Takes a shot from distance. It's well wide of the goal. And it's a goal kick to Sholing. And it's Gosney just waiting for his team to get a bit further upfield. The rain getting a bit heavier here at Arbour Park. And it's Gosney to take this goal kick. Better goal kick by him. Aimed and flicked on by Byron Mason. Towards target. Flicks the ball on. Lee Tugwell's there, but Dan Mason wins it for Sholing. Tries to turn. Runs it out of play. And it's a throw to Slough. Halfway. Getting the rain coming down. It's coming at an angle that people are moving 4 or 5 rows back here at Arbour Park. So maybe I should get one of my marquees and stick it on the end of the stand. Might help. There you go. So throw to the Rebels. Guy Hollis has come across to take this for Slough. And his throw though straight to Byron Mason. It's Sam Togwell who heads it. Looking for Swords, but it's back here with Scott Davis who finds Chris Flood. Flood just turns and lets the ball run through. Has the ball here, plays it down the line for Manny Williams to chase against Miller. Miller has to clear the ball long, does well into the floodlights, headed on by Fraser, in towards Chris Flood. Flood cuts his side, just overruns the ball a little bit, and it's here with Castle, who just evades a couple of challenges, in towards targets. Now chased the ball down well, and Warren Harris has made a difference since he's come on. Cleared by Bullpit down the field, and Hollis does well to get there first for Slough. And plays it back towards Jack Turner. Turner plays the ball down the field, looking for Warren Harris. Flicks the ball on well towards Manny Williams on the edge of the box. Manny up against Miller. Miller sticks a big leg out and blocks the ball. It's cleared by them, but only as far as Fraser. Fraser finds Warren Harris. Harris can turn, try and past McLean. McLean does well to get his body in there. It's stopped by Bullpit. It's just Manny Williams can't get his body in there. Bouncing around on the edge of the box. Cleared in the end by Miller. Hollis heads it the first time. And then shields the ball, does Dan Mason, holding it up well for Sholing. Davis tries to get there first, gets in there first, and it's won back by Flood. Tackles flying in here at the moment on this slippery pitch. Here with Dan Mason. Finds Alex Sawyer. Sawyer just tries to skip past one challenge. Played it in through two. Fraser with the challenge in the end to clear for Slough. And here with George Wells in the centre position. Plays it out towards Warren Harris. Rain getting really heavy here at Arbour Park. And Slough play it back towards Fraser, in towards Togwell. In towards Warren Harris. Now trying to come down this right hand side with Warren Harris. Skips past the challenger Mason. Still has the ball. Oh, just gives the ball away, and Slough have been so poor in that this afternoon. All credit to Sholing for chasing everything down, but ball played forwards here towards Sam Togwell. Back out towards Louis Saw. Saw's being pressurised. Oh, ball plays it in here towards Hollis. Here towards Sean Fraser. Now plays it back towards Jack Turner. Into, got just over 10 minutes plus whatever the referee adds on. Turner plays the ball down the field. Flood tries to get there against Miller. Flood fouls. It's a free kick. Other way. Other team. It's alright. You'll get the hang of this. Don't worry. It's a free kick here for Sholing. Gosney has come 15 yards outside of his box to take this free kick as the rain gets a lot heavier here at Arbour Park. Ball played in here. It's going to bounce through. Togwell has to head the ball away, and that will go out for a throw to Sholing. Just missed the corner flag there. But second half, Slough have been absolutely dire this afternoon, and all credit to Sholing, who have been the better of the two sides the second half. Throw comes into the box. It's been flicked on, comes through to the edge of the box. It's Mason who shoots, and he equalises. Mason gets his second. And I told you that Slough were poor. And again from a long throw on 80 minutes. Slough conceded from a set piece. It's 2-2. And it's no more than the visitors have deserved. They've been by far the better team. And Slough don't look like they could score in a brothel. Is that too rude when we say that one? But I don't know why I'm asking you. You're the rudest person I know. And Slough have looked very lacklustre at the moment. It looks as though Slough are heading for a replay. That's if they can hang on here at Arbour Park, because they have been absolutely atrocious this second half. And poor defending again. Dan Mason gets his second of the game, his 16th of the season. They should have learned from the first half. And the ball played forwards here to Chris Flood. Skips off his foot and goes out of play for a throw right by the corner flag to the away side. And Slough have been absolutely atrocious here today, because Sholing have been by far the better of the two sides here. Since Slough went 2-0 up, and again it's Sholing. They got a throw deep inside their own half, but Slough don't look like they've got anything about them. Warren Harris wins the header but heads it towards Gosney, the goalkeeper, who doesn't need to do anything now because Sholing can take it to a replay on Tuesday evening. And that means that it's a long trip for the Rebels down to the Southampton area on a Tuesday night. Unless they can do something about it. Or can Sholing pull off an upset? Wells with a mistake. Ball's here with target down the right hand side. Plays it off. Togwell for a corner to Sholing. And it's easily Sholing who are the better team. They are the ones that are looking for the third goal. Slough are hanging on by their fingernails. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see a cup upset here this afternoon, because Slough look like they've got nothing about them. It's going to be Sawyer who goes across to take this corner for Sholing. They've sent forwards Castle and Miller. And Slough have already conceded from two set pieces. They're not at their best this afternoon. Goes through past everyone. It's a chase on here for Byron Mason to keep the ball in, and does so. And just runs out of play. It's a throw to Slough. And it's a throw to Slough, which Guy Hollis is going to take. And Hollis is deep inside his own half, trying to find Warren Harris. Flicks on towards Manny Williams, shields the ball. Only as far as Castle, who clears down the line. Hollis trying to win the ball. It's come through to Ward. Ward up against Togwell. And excuse me, Steward, can you get that guy on the stairs to move? Sorry, I can't see. It's there's an injury here at the moment to Dan Mason. And it's just a stoppage in play here at the moment. We've got less than 6 minutes of the game to go. And the referee will add on a few minutes, I'm sure. And the goal scorer, Mason, 2 goals this afternoon. Just slowly getting to his feet here. And just a bang on the head, he seems fine. And it will be a throw that Sholing give back to the goalkeeper, Jack Turner. Stops the ball from going out. He kicked it out of play for treatment for the injury. And Jack Turner has the ball at his feet. Less than 6 minutes to go here at Arbour Park. Miller tries to get the ball. Comes through to Manny Williams. Williams can't get there first. He does shield the ball. In towards Warren Harris. Towards Scott Davis. Coming down the outside. Mason comes in with a challenge. It's a corner or a throw. It's a throw to Slough. They're going to let Guy Hollis come across to take it. And Hollis is... Finally, I've heard... It's taken 85 minutes for Slough fans to find a voice. It's going to be Guy Hollis to put this throw into the box for the Rebels. And he's right by the corner flag. Hollis with the long throw in. Sam Togwell with the header, but it's well wide of the goal. And we're so desperate, we're calling that a shot, an effort off target. So there you go. And Gosney will take his time with this goal kick now. 2-2 the score here at Arbour Park, as Slough have been absolutely poor the second half, and since the second goal went in, they've been by far the better team as Sholing. Ball headed away by Sean Fraser, comes towards Warren Harris. Here towards Fraser. Fraser's ball down the field, looking for Chris Flood. Headed away by Byron Mason. Flicked on here, comes through to Sean Fraser again. Ball over the top for Manny Williams to chase. Up against McLean. Williams on his thigh. McLean gets a touch to it. It's a throw to the Rebels. Finally, Slough coming to life. Good afternoon to Connor and Paul Hazel, who are listening in. Slough with a throw. Why don't they take it quickly with Manny Williams to Warren Harris. Back here to Williams. Trying to find Warren Harris down the byline. Gets the ball in. Turn into Louis Sills. He's trying to turn and shoot. Plays it out here towards Togwell. Togwell has to sidestep the referee. Ball played in towards Manny Williams. Finds Warren Harris. Shoots. It's hit the post. It comes back out. And sure, Scott Davis can't get it. George Wells does. Wells with a chance to bring the ball down the left-hand side. In towards Davis. Davis gets fouled. It's a free kick to the Rebels. And much to the amusement of the Slough fans, Slough got a free kick, and Wart finally gets a yellow card on 87 minutes. I mean, he must have committed about 120 fouls. And now Slough fortuitously have a chance to try and snatch this game. It's going to be Scott Davis to take this free kick for Slough. They need a decent delivery on this free kick. Just a one-man wall. It's around about 25 yards out, a little bit to the sideline, just a couple of yards away from the sideline. Scott Davis to take this for Slough. Can they get a... Oh, it's a poor one. It comes back out, though, to George Wells. Wells tries to shoot. It's bouncing around. Ballpit wins it back well, and then looks for Target down this left-hand side. Target up against Lee Togwell. Oh, he skips past Togwell well. Fraser with a great challenge for Slough. And then Hollis can't get there. This ball's won back by Fraser. Now Sholing are complaining about the referee. Ball played on the far-hand side towards Soars. Soars down the left-hand side, up against Cuthbertson. Soars gets a chance to put a cross in over the head of everyone. Sean Fraser's furthest forwards for Slough. McLean just lets the ball run out of play. It's a throw there to them. And now it's the turn of the visitors to have a go at the referee, who has let so many challenges go from both sides this afternoon. He's not had the best of games as a referee. And it's not the best of afternoons here at Arbour Park for the Rebels at the moment. 2-2. We've got around about a minute and a half of normal time. The referee will add a fair bit of time on for a couple of injuries in these last few minutes. But a disappointing afternoon for the Rebels so far this afternoon. And two poorly defended set pieces have given Sholing a chance of causing a big upset here this afternoon. I mean, I think a draw is going to be an upset anyway, but we're going to see how long the referee Today's attendance is 465. And George Wells has been named man of the match. I've got a funny feeling that the people that do the man of the match only know one person, because they pick him every game. It was Bullpit, who was the injured player. He's back on his feet. He's just off the pitch at the moment. He'll have to wait to be ushered on by the referee. And a throw for Sholing to take deep inside their own penalty area. In their own area by the corner flag. My apologies there. And they're taking their time walking over to take this throw. McLean will take it for Sholing. And McLean finally takes the throw. Flicked on by Dan Mason. Tries to win. Oh, then Togwell gets caught there. The referee says nothing again. Headed away by Castle. It's a throw to Slough. And Slough pick a ball straight out. And it's Togwell that takes the throw quickly towards Scott Davies. Plays it out here towards George Wells. Wells lining up a shot. Hits it from distance. Takes a deflection. It's a corner to the Rebels. And again, Slough have a last chance, Garth. Hollis and Sam Togwell go forwards. And I could have sworn I heard Slough fans chanting. Is this where Slough try and snatch a victory from a draw? It's Scott Davis to take this corner. They need a better bit of delivery. 5 minutes of added on time. Goes to the back post, headed across goal. Headed away by Cuthbertson. Comes here towards Target. Target hits it straight to Warren, has it ricochet through to Swords. Swords down the left hand side, gets his cross in, it's blocked. It'll be a throw to Slough. And Guy Hollis goes across to take this. Swords takes it quickly when he waits, because Slough giving the ball away. It's come back off though. It's a throw to Slough, but they're way further back than they were. Ball thrown in towards Sam Togwell, who's the only player in the Slough half apart from the goalkeeper. Togwell floats the ball forwards, finding Lee Togwell, who heads the ball the wrong direction. Gets a chance to win a second header. Headed away by Bullpit. Fraser heads it on, trying to find Flood. Flood's ball is hooked clear by Castle. Comes through to Guy Hollis. He takes a touch in towards Lee Togwell. Finds Sean Fraser down the right hand side. Fraser crosses first. What a great ball. Great defending by Miller though. Comes out here towards Sawyer on the edge of his own box. Plays down here for Target to chase. Target up against Wells. Sam Togwell has to come across, and then Wells heads it back towards his goalkeeper. And Turner needs to get the ball down the field quickly for Snell. Long ball forward, looking for Warren Harris. Harris gets a touch on it. Comes off the head of foot of Miller. It's a throw to the Rebels. Slough, these last couple of minutes, have been the Slough that you'd expect. Sean Fraser with a throw in towards Warren Harris. Harris turns. It's got Sean Fraser on the overlap. Warren Harris gets a cross in. Headed away by Miller. Great defending again by the centre back. Comes out here towards Work. Work plays it back towards Bullpit. Plays it down the field. Sam Togwell comes across. Little header in towards his brother Lee. Into Scott Davies. Davies tries to spread it on the far hand side. Looking for Source. Cuthbertson wins the header. And it comes here towards Dan Mason, who scored 2 goals for Sholing so far. He's their man at the moment. Ball's played into Cuthbertson. Plays it down the field. Davis lets Target flick the header on. It will roll through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And Turner just drops the ball outside of his penalty area. We're into 5 minutes of added time. We're into about 2.5 of that already. Warren Harris flicks it on the grin. Great. Byron Mason gets there first. Manny Williams chases the ball down and wins it for Slough down the right hand side. Being chased by Byron Mason. Mason takes a touch. It's a throw to the Rebels. Slough trying to leave it quickly for Guy Hollis to come across to take. Slough got to put the ball into the box. It's 2-2 here in a minute. 3 minutes of the added time already gone. It's Guy Hollis with a long throw down by the corner flag. Gets some distance on it, not the best. Flood tries to flick it on, bounces across. It's hooked clear by Sholing. Flicked on there. It'll come through to Scott Davis. There's time on the ball. Oh, it's gone to George Wells. Wells inside the centre circle. Trying to find 2 Slough players. Oh, they leave it for each other. It runs out of play. And Sholing will take all the time in the world with this throw, because this is a great result from the Wessex Premier League side. They are 3 levels below Slough. They are holding the Rebels to a draw here at the moment. It means I've now got to take time off work on Tuesday to go to the replay. Don't you just hate football sometimes? It's McLean to take this throw. Throws it towards the goalkeeper. Gosney plays a little Flick it up. McLean hooks the ball clear. Comes through towards Wart. Wart under pressure from a couple of Slough players. Just hits it straight out of the line. It's a throw to Slough. Need a ball. It's come out here towards Sean Fraser. Fraser's throw inside to Scott Davis. Davis flicks it out towards Swords. Swords up against Cuthbertson. Swords cuts inside. Oh, he's got space with Wells. Swords still has the ball here. Running across the pitch. Cuthbertson's gone with him all the way. Swords still has it. Finds Guy Hollis. Hollis can bring the ball forwards here for Slough. Finds Sean Fraser down the right hand side. Fraser needs to get the cross in. Gets the cross in. Bouncing around. Comes here towards Hollis of all people. Hollis shoots and it's straight at the goalkeeper. It's a good shot, but well saved by the goalkeeper. And that is the final whistle here. And what an upset it's been. Slough level 2 against Sholing level 5. And Sholing have pulled off a 2-2 draw here. 2 goals from their star man Dan Mason on 38 and 80 minutes. Slough had a 2-goal lead. We can tell you that well, I don't know what we can tell you really. The offsides didn't come up because you didn't put them in. Slough committed 6 fouls to 9 fouls by our opposition. Slough had 14 shots in the game, 7 on, 7 off. But crucially, it was Sholing who had 8 shots on target. They've scored 2 of them, and they have deservedly gone away here from Arbour Park with a 2-2 draw. I've got to say one thing though, the Slough fans have been absolutely atrocious this afternoon. I haven't heard a peep out of them, not many of their, and the Sholing players go all the way across to the Sholing fans, just a handful that have travelled down, came on the coach with their players, and deservedly the fans and the players have got a 2-2 draw this afternoon because Slough have been absolutely poor. So they now got to head down to the replay on Tuesday night, and that means that we will have to try and come down on Tuesday night to give you a coverage. I just hope that they've got electricity in Southampton. If anyone knows that, well, we'll have a chat with them and see how it goes, I'm sure. But thank you all for listening. Thank you for staying with us. I'll try and give you some updated scores. Good afternoon to Tequila Shark, Connor and Paul and Claire and whatever for listening in. I think it was my fault for not doing a half-time quiz. Just going to see if I can give you some scores for you before you all go home. But a really poor second half by Slough, and they've got what they've deserved. Absolutely nothing today. A replay which they mostly didn't deserve, unfortunately. But there you go. Let's just see if we can find you some scores. Hampton and Richmond are 3-0 up in the dying seconds of their game. Trying to see what else. Dartford have come back from 1 down to go 3-1 up. Let's have a look at what else. Dulwich are 3-1 up against Tunbridge Angels. Eastbourne Borough are 1 up. So there you go. There's a few things going on there. But Chelmsford are losing 2-1 at home to Worthing. But there you go. So thank you all for listening. We should hopefully we'll see if we can get in contact with some of the Sholing officials and find out if we can do a broadcast from Sholing for you. We'll find it out and we'll tweet that out for you later. Thank you all for listening in. Unfortunately, not the result that all Slough fans wanted, but it's finished 2-2 here at Arbour Park, and Slough have thrown a 2-goal lead away against the team finished 3 leagues below them, and they will be very, very disappointed with that and very disappointed with their performance this afternoon. So hopefully we will be back on Tuesday. If not, you'll have to follow on Twitter. But until then, thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's not going to be the very best of weekends because it's pouring with rain. But until then, thank you all very much for listening in.